Hello and welcome to another Magic the Gathering video. So whilst we're waiting for a new set to drop and the obligatory bundle opening and associated commander decks, I thought it'd be fun to go off at a bit of a tangent and do, I suppose you could call it an experimental video. Hopefully this will turn into a series, and as I get better at these, they should be relatively easy to churn out, and also it's going to act, I think, as an exercise in feasibility for when I start trying to do the commander fodder series again, where I want to use like virtual artifacts rather than paper magic cards to do this. So what is this video all about? Well, it's basically a sealed deck building video, although it's more about how you can leverage free resources on the web to basically play around with a sealed pool. So hopefully most of you watching the video are fairly familiar with various formats in Magic. Within the area of limited formats I'm talking about, there are two big types of limited formats, within the whole scope of different sealed limited formats you can do. One is sealed itself, where you take a certain amount of booster packs or some certain amount of product and build a certain size deck from. And the other one is where you draft, booster draft, where again you take in this case booster packs, and you draft them and build a 40 card deck. Now, over the history of Magic, there's been a number of side formats which again incorporate booster packs in some way, but maybe change the resulting size of deck that you build, and obviously adjust the amount of booster packs you open accordingly. But one thing about sealed deck building in particular is it does tend to gravitate around this standardization of 6 packs of Magic product to build a 40 card deck. That's where we sort of are now, and I do accept that you can play around with that. You know, you can say open 10 packs and build a 60 card deck or whatever. But if you were to probably turn up at a paper pre-release nowadays, excluding any promo cards that might feature in there or special twists, you are sort of dealing with a 6 booster pack giving you a build of 40 cards sort of format. Now, the reason why I bring this up is that's changed over the years. Way back, if you go back far enough in Magic's history, in the early days of Magic, where you had things like starter decks and tournament decks, and you went along to a pre-release, you would have, say, a starter or a tournament pack, and then you would add additional product to that. So if we go back in history, so let me just use this rather handy dandy MT. I'll explain actually some of the resources I'm using in a moment. But if, say, we'd gone, I don't know, let's go to where I'm going to start. Mirage. So we got into a Mirage pre-release in 1996. We would have probably been given a Mirage tournament pack, if they were indeed called that yet, or starter pack, whatever you want to call it, and then either 2 or 3 packs of Mirage, 2 or 3 booster packs of Mirage. If we subsequently had turned up to the Visions pre-release on January 11th, 1997, then we might find that we still get our booster pack, our tournament pack of Mirage, and 2, maybe 3 packs of Visions. And then again, if we turned up to the Weatherlight pre-release, we might find we'd get, say, again, our Mirage tournament pack, and that combine that with some Weatherlight boosters. So The thing to remember is Mirages are large sets, 350 cards. Visions and Weatherlights are small sets. And in the block structure, which now, of course, we're post-block structure, I suppose, is a way of thinking it. But back in the days of the block structure, that was the point. You know, you went along to a pre-release of the small sets, and you'd be using the larger set as your sort of base, if you like, and they would provide additional utility to that, because the block itself worked within the same I want to use the word environment, but it's the same plane, you know, the same world that it was designed for. Today I'm going to be doing Mirage, and the reason why I'm starting with Mirage is that was the point at which block design and also designing sets for sealed play was really started properly. If you've ever tried to build a sealed pool from Ice Age, you'll sort of know what I mean. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I do accept with these earlier blocks anyway, with Mirage and then subsequently Tempest. Yeah, things are a little bit wobbly sometimes when you do this, but that's half of the fun. And the nice thing about doing this virtually is what we're going to be doing is there's no additional cost to you. And that's what this video is sort of about, is how can you have fun with card pools without, you know, having to go out and buy 6 packs of Mirage, which I'm assuming will be quite expensive now. So I'm going to show you how you can do sealed deck pool building just for fun, because some people just like to sit there and durdle around with a card pool using free tools. So we're going to use 4 things for this. We're going to use the Wikipedia. I would normally use MTG Wiki, but I find if I'm doing screen capture, because MTG Wiki runs advertising, because obviously they need to get revenue somehow. If they run advertising, it can get a bit weird with the screen capturing in terms of the amount of real estate on the screen. If you're trying to zoom in or zoom out, the ads don't really zoom, or where they do zoom, and that's the problem. They'll take up the space. So I'm actually going to use the Wikipedia entries, which aren't as good as the MTG Wiki ones, but they give me as much information as I need to do this. I'm going to be using this, which is a really useful tool. Again, a free one, mtgen.net, mtgn.net, however you want to think about it. The sealed deck card generator goes all the way back to limited edition, and then all the way forward, as you saw there, to Commander Legends. Also, the nice thing about this is if you want to get super authentic, so if you wanted to recreate virtually the experience of building a card pool from, say, Mirage, you can come in here, and the designer of this site is very cleverly included the ability to generate starter deck pools, and then you would add in however many boosters you wanted to, if you wanted to do that for that particular set. Now, we're not going to be doing it quite this way, and I'll explain why. So what I want to do is, because I foresee this as potentially being a series, I want to keep something consistent, and the thing I want to keep consistent is the use of 6 packs to build a sealed pool from. But beyond that, hopefully things are going to get interesting. So every video I do will always be 6 packs, 6 virtual packs. But what I want to do is explore the design space of a set by messing a bit with how that is made up. So what do I mean by that? Well, like I said earlier, if you went along in that block to some of the later releases, they would include in that card pool the large set. That's just how it was done, and that's how it was. I mean, I went along to a later release before I sort of went over to MTGO. One pre-release I did attend was original Innistrad. Well, actually original, Dark Ascension. So with Dark Ascension, I go along to the pre-release, and I think I got it was either three of Innistrad and 3 of Dark Ascension, or it may have even been 4 of Innistrad and 2 of Dark Ascension. And so that was my sort of experience of a small set, was to have cards from the big set and a few boosters from the small set. What's interesting is on Magic the Gathering Online, if you draft, so that's where you have 3 packs and you draft with a pod of 8, there was a period in MTGO's history where you could actually go in, and after the set had been released online and the initial pre-release, if you want to call it that, online had happened, and this is before the days of leagues, of course, and this is pre-leagues, where pods fired live, and you played against the person in your pod, you could go and draft all small set. It was set up to do that. So I can remember going, and I think it was for Theros block, drafting all, doing a Born of the Gods draft where all of the packs were from Born of the Gods. Now, of course, it's not always like that when you draft the smaller sets. If you draft them, it's going to be, say a couple of packs, 2 of the packs from the large set and 1 of the pack from the small set, or when you get to the end, a pack of each from each of the sets of the block. So what I wanted to do is apply that to the sealed environment where you've got 6 packs, and think, what are the different variations that you might have without going too crazy? So what you would end up is at the very least 6 different pools as you work through the block. So what I mean by that is, the first video I'd probably do, if this is going to be an ongoing thing, so this video today, Mirage, 6 packs of Mirage. Next video, 6 packs of Vision. A little bit strange because wouldn't necessarily do that at a pre-release. Then 6 packs of Weatherlight. Then a Mirage and Visions, as probably it would be more like pre-release. So 3 Mirage packs, 3 Vision packs. And then 3 Mirage packs, 3 Weatherlight packs. And then, you can see where I'm going here, 2 of each. So in any set where there's a 3 set block, or any block where there's a 3 set block, that's what I'd end up with. Obviously, through Magic's history, there's a couple of instances where we've had, and later where we had 2 set blocks. So things will get a bit different there. But going way through up until... this will be a straight run with that format through until a Lorwyn block, I think, which was the first time they had a 2 set block. And also, if I do decide to say build a sealed pool from a core set, which I probably will do, it'll just be 6 packs from the core set, and that'll be it, done. But with the block, same with Tempest. So we do 6 packs from Tempest. Next video, 6 of Stronghold. Next video, 6 of Exodus. Next video, Tempest Stronghold 3 and 3. Tempest Exodus 3 and 3. Tempest Stronghold Exodus 2, 2 and 2, like that. And just see where that leads us. It's going to uncover, I think, lots of interesting things. How you deal with multiple sets from a block. How bad my deck building skills actually are. And so a lot of this is just more about having fun and, seeing where the cards take us on there. So I'm going to use 4 tools. If I haven't mentioned this already, this, which is the Wikipedia site, as I said, I'm not going to use MTG Wiki because I really just want to get a feel for the size of the set, what the keywords were, what the key mechanics were, and what the expansion code, the correct expansion code is, and you'll see why in a moment. We're going to use this, which is our website for generating our sealed pool. So I'm going to go in here. Let's just show you quickly with Mirage. 6 boosters, nice and simple. Generate my sets. There's my boosters. Look at that. Okay, and I'll do a cursory screen normally. Just look through, see if anything grabs me. Sort this by rarity in this screen because it's just nice to do that, so we can sort of see what's going on. I could probably just do this up at the top here, and it should do it for all, I think. Maybe not. Yeah, so the thing is, when I come to export this, I'm going to export this as the whole six says 6 sets generated. I think it means 6 packs. Yeah, so it'll export it as a whole. But when I first do this, I'm probably going to just scroll down and just have a quick look. Organize it maybe by rarity, just to see if anything jumps out at me that I don't know. Oh, interesting. We've got a Spirit of Night in this card pool. Okay, that's going to be fun. Mono black, here we come. Actually, I don't think we can have enough to do that. But yeah, I got Far Diamond. Cool. Okay, I'm going off a bit here because this is part of the fun. Yeah. Unfortunately, was it phasing was a thing? Oh, we got an old school fog there. Cool. So what we need to do is, getting back on track here, we need to take Mirage and get it into a deck building tool, and I'm going to use Architect. There are other ones you can use, other free ones, but I just want to use this because I've been playing around with this. The other thing I need to do when I bring this in is Architect. What it will do is when I export this, so I'm going to export here, you see I get a card list. Now if I bring this card list into Architect, it's just going to pick the most recent printing of that card. I don't want to do that. I want this to look like Mirage. So a couple of things I need to do. First, I'm going to pick a different format which I know contains a set identifier. The only this is closest to what Architect accepts, but it's not quite right because Architect wants these to be in round brackets. So what I'm going to do, and this is a real quick and dirty way of doing it, and I accept if you want to do a bit of Python, or you want to write something, I don't know, in Java and do something clever in there, you can create a little, or even create a little script that goes through. You could save this as a text file and goes through and probably does this like that. I'm going to not do that, in keeping with making this so that people can reproduce this themselves without any additional tools. I'm just going to use Notepad, and you can see where I'm going to go with this. I'm going to do it. Replace. Here we are. We're ready to go. Replace square brackets with round brackets on this side. So we're going to go replace all. You can see it's done it that way around. Then we do it the other way around. Boom. Okay. Highlight that. Copy that. Just make sure we've got it all we have. Come into here. Go new deck. Give the deck a name. I'm just going to call this ×6. I'm going to just also call this a custom deck, just so we don't get any weird error messages if we try and call it standard. I've got some folders already set up in Architect, and one of them is something called card pools, and I'm going to make this deck private, and then I'm just going to go create the deck. When I do that, it doesn't really do anything at this point. I'm going to do my text import, and this is where you get the clue when you're using this thing, and this is where it is that this is how it identifies specific sets. In this example, they're using for basic lands. So that's how I was able to work that out through playing around with this. And then we're just going to save the changes. At this point, it'll do a quick scan. I think if there's a named legend in here, I may have to introduce a comma because it doesn't always come across perfectly. Oh yeah, there we go. They've all been found. Now by doing this, it means that when I come in here, I haven't got to swap the artwork out. I'm all ready to go. So here's my card pool. So this is what we're going to use to build our deck. So the first thing I'm going to do is save this in case anything crashes. So then, what have we got? We got view sort. Now there's several ways you can use this. A useful feature is to start off over here, come in here, and then you can sort of go through and literally go through in order and look at the cards and then decide you know, what you want to do with the cards in terms of you know, whether you even want them in your deck. I'm not going to do that because I want to keep the card pool here. So what I'm going to play around with various ways of doing this. What I'll probably do is create another deck and then push it into that. You can, from here, you can sort of go add it to another deck and then choose a deck and then put it in there. So I could create like another deck and call it something else and then, you know, add it in that way around. Another way, let's see if it does this, is you can see here I can just drag this into a sideboard as well if I want to do that. So there's lots of possibilities when you're using this. So let's just look at some. So again, this first video we're just exploring the interface as well, so this might be a little slow, so now might be a good time to stop the video and go get a drink, because this could take a little while. As we do later videos, if this is something people want me to continue with, then this probably will be a bit faster because I'm not explaining the tools in here and I'll just refer back to the first video. So what do we got? We've got custom. We can organize by types. Now one thing is, if you take it out of anything that's not custom, you can't drag and drop into the board. And with custom you can reorganize stuff how you want it. We can organize by CMC if we want a better idea about how things are going to pan out in terms of our curve. Another interesting thing to do, and I actually found this quite useful, is to put it into this mode, which is text mode. Whoops, don't want to do that, sorry. Put it into text mode and then organize by different things. So you can see, and then when you hover over it, actually shows you what the card is. So that might be initially when you're sort of assessing the deck, that might be assessing your card pool. That might be a fun thing to do. You can see here you can organize as well by color within this. So you can organize, like say we wanted to organize by CMC again and then sort by color. I've noticed with some of these it's not quite, you know, straightforward. It doesn't quite work as you'd expect it. But you know, there's a few things in here that are really useful, and you can sort of reorganize to some degree. So I'm going to go back to image, and we're going to organize by. So you can do this. You can go into multiple as well and reorganize it to a certain degree. This would be probably initially while I'm taking stuff out, maybe my preferred way to organize things. If I'm just trying to take out some sort of chaff, would be to actually organize it by type, like that. So what's the difference between type and multiple is our first question. Let's just have a look. Let us see if we organise this by colour. Has anything happened? Nope, not much. Anyway, let's just get back to see, that's better. Yeah, it's working a bit, but again, I'm just going to take some stuff out of here. So as you hover over this, actually, so with this, definitely want to keep in my sort of main pool, so my playables, if you like, because at this point I'm not really deciding yet. As I go through the cards, I'm going to decide what colours I might gravitate towards. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this, is I'm going to go back to custom so I can drag these around. So it's custom, and then suppose I want to drag this one. What I'm going to do is anything that I definitely don't want to play at all, I'm going to be putting in my my sideboard, and then I'm going to put anything that I do want to play but isn't in the particular color that I'm experimenting with, I'm going to put into my maybe board. I accept that I could get clever here and start doing new categories and all that sort of thing, but again, I'm going to try and keep this fairly simple for using this tool. So here we go. At the end of each player's turn, if that player has 5 or less life, rank or pendulum Ds, 2 damage to him or her. Each player's turn. Okay, so we'll leave that. These diamonds definitely I want to keep. Okay, destroy X target artifacts. For each artifact, put into the graveyard. So this is definitely a sideboard card anyway. So let's just do that. And you can see it'll just appear over here, which now means I can easily drag it over here. Okay, we got a convex torch, interrupts the target. Each cost. I'm going to just do something here. This does respond well to being zoomed in. There we go. That's better. Now we're better. Okay. You can also do it this way. You know, go in here, but I'm not going to keep jumping in and out. Okay. Reign of Chaos. Destroy target planes or target white creature, or destroy target island, and go. It depends who we're playing against, of course. So let's just do that. You'll notice there was a lot of the set cared about certain color allied colors. When I'm not, how can I say this? So I'm not using allied in the strictest term here, but what happened is when we look at certain cards in a moment, we get over to the creatures, you'll see there's some multicolored cards, and I don't know if I'm going to find it here. They had mono color, but they had a color. Oh, there we go. There's a Guild Mage. So we've got a green card, but it cares about white and red. So if you're thinking about Wooburg, so white, red, green, so that would be so on the cursor we got Wooburg, RGW, so red, green, white, so it's a shard effectively, but around green. So what you'll notice is there's certain things like the Guild Mages which care about other colours, but there are other ones which hose. There's colour hoses going on here, which will destroy certain things. So you've got a red card here, which clearly targets white creatures or islands, or white or blue. So watch out for these when we're going through, because it's probably going to dictate, if we want to play like a 3-coloured deck, what colours we might be able to play, or in the case of some of these cards, like what might need to be in a sideboard, because what they target, what they hose, we're not going to, and might not be of use until we would play someone in that colour. Spitting Earth deals damage to target creature, an amount of damage equal to the number of mountains you control. Oh, so that's a mono red card. Okay, so it cares about us playing red. Bury all artifacts, each artifact's controller. So useful if we go against a heavy artifact deck. Again, I'm just going to put this over the sideboard. in cash. Draw 3 cards. Okay, got card draw. Choose 2 cards from your hand. Yep, no, we're good with that. Pacifism. Yep, good with that. Oh, flipping cumulative upkeeps. I hate these. When you play prisoner, prevent all damage to you from a source of a chosen colour. Treat further damage from that source. Normally, okay. So damage prevention with cumulative upkeep. Source of a certain colour. Interesting. So it's flexible if we're in white. +1 and +1. Okay, oh yeah, flanking was a thing in this set as well. I think red white, if I remember rightly from the Magic the Gathering Online theme decks that they produced, red white flankers was a thing. Oh, and this thing, instant enchantments, whatever they wanted to call them. So you may choose to play Lightning Reflex as an instant. If you do, bury it at the end of turn. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and gains first strike. Okay. Let's leave that there for the moment. Oh, here's another one. Probably going to play on a non-black creature. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to put that over there. Oh, Cloak of Invisibility. Oh, crikey, phasing. Do I want to even go down the phasing route? I'm going to just maybe sideboard all the phasing cards, I think. I did build a commander phasing commander deck, and it was, so confusing. Okay, we got some weird enchantments going on here actually. That's interesting. Enfeeblement. So we're already also getting a feel for, so we've got some, enchantment removal here. We've got pacifism. I'm just making sure these didn't have some sort of weird removal bolted on. Enfeeblement will basically deal with anything that's 2/2 or less. I'm sorry, actually, what am I saying? So anything with toughness of 2 or less, 2 or 1. Let me choose and play Grave if you do. These sort of cards are very interesting. Grave Servitude. So that's going to buff up one of your creatures, but you could use it on a one toughness opponent's creature as a removal spell. Oh, the boons. Pay 3 life, counter target, summon spell. Okay, so we got counter spell in black. It illustrates how it's always interesting to see in other colours how they deal with certain things like counter spells. So here it's doing that customary like thing of you're paying through, say, life, like an alternative cost, particularly life, to do something. So that might be card draw on some cards in this case. So you've got to pay 1 on the back and pay 3 life to counter target summon spell. So that will only target creatures, basically. Creature spells. Yeah, you'll see a lot of old school verbiage on this as well. Target creatures white, draw. Yeah. We're taking all the hoses out, basically. Okay. Oh, Sapphire Charm. So this is modal. Card at the beginning of the next. Phasing. Okay. Seeing as it's modal, leave it in. Power Sync's in here. Okay. I know we're an enchantment heavy set. We're just gonna put that to one side. I say enchantment heavy. We're in a set that does interesting things with enchantments, which people are probably then more likely to leverage. Turn target creature enchantment to owner's hand or regenerate. Yeah. Okay. Got green removal. Fog spell. You saw there was a sort of fog spell. Was it prismatic circle? Yeah. In white. Although this one, probably you could argue, it's always interesting when you look at these as the sort of flexibility of this. This is super cheap, single green. It's good if, like, you've gone up against someone who's doing an alpha strike and they've built up their side, and then you play this on that turn, and it's instant speed as well. So they're tapped out now, and yeah. Volcanic Geyser deals X damage. Oh, that looks cool. So it's another one of these X damage spells. I'm trying to think of another one. It's Fireball. Yeah, Fireball. But this is, I think, a higher cost. X and two red. I think Fireballs is X and a red. I think so. Oh, Incinerate, yeah. Have some of that. Flare. It's a 1 damage red spell with cantrip. So we draw a card at the beginning of that turn's next end step. We've got Chaos Charm. So that's our modal charm in red. Yeah, a lot of these really didn't like walls, did they? Walls must have been a thing in this set. I think the set was fairly tribal. The block as a whole, there's a lot of sort of tribal stuff going on. That's one of the advantages if I actually use MTG Wiki to do this. It'll give me a list of all the tribes. 3 life. Yeah, let's just move this over. What I'm going to do is I'm just moving all the artifact destruction over for the moment, and the enchantment stuff. Okay, now we come on to the interesting stuff. So we've already seen, we've got some interesting removal because of these instant enchantments, or enchant instants, or whatever you want to call them. But we've got a number of instants here in different colours which are going to help us with removal. The other thing when you're in here, which is quite interesting, if you're sort of looking for inspiration as to what might be a good card, and it could be because they're good in other sets, you'll notice the design of this does actually show you the price of the card. So, if you've got something that's eye-wateringly expensive, then that's definitely worth taking a look at. It might be that for a different reason. It could be, like it's been reprinted and it's good in modern, and there's no other cards here where it actually makes sense. But it's always worth a look. This is information you obviously wouldn't get if you were doing this under tournament conditions. So again, this is not tournament conditions at all. We wouldn't be saying here. This is under deck durdling conditions. If a spell or effect controlled by an opponent causes you to discard Sandgolem, put Sandgolem... Okay. So it's, 3/3 for 5 with sort of protection from discard. And it becomes a 4/4. Okay. What I'll tend to do is often I'll just leave underpowered instants in the set, in the pool, just in case I'm looking for a 23rd playable. Oh, here we go. What have we got? 3 to cast. Target spell is colourless. Play this ability as an interrupt. Target permanent is colourless. So we got hosing again. We'll put those away over there. Sorry about this. It's... Yep. Oh, no. No. That can come back in if we want it to. Did I say I hated phasing? Yeah, phasing and cumulative upkeeps are my 2 least favourite things in Magic, I think. I mean, phasing's fun to play with if you know what you're doing. And I imagine it's quite fun in a constructed deck. But in a sealed pool, yeah, you've really got to know your stuff. And I'm just not there on the sealed deck building knowledge curve. Sacrifice. Oh, this fella. Now, hang on. This is interesting. I wonder if we've got these. There's bugger. I think we've got 2 out of the 3. Let me check. Herbal Panther. Feral Shadow Breath. Yeah. So this is an interesting combination within the set, and I don't see the other one. So this is a good card to show you actually, because it's got all in one. So we've got 2 in black for a 2/2. So yeah, sort of underpowered by today's standard for the casting cost. Single black, sacrifice Urborg Panther, destroy target creature blocking Urborg Panther. So it's like removal through sacrifice. We've got removal stapled to this card. These are interesting, you know, if you're ever building a deck where you're trying to leverage graveyard stuff to do with sacrificing, looking out for these sort of where they've got their own ability to sacrifice themselves at instant speed for a relatively low cost. It's real interesting to see. Now in Magic there's probably, and again I'm talking outside of what we're doing today as the sealed, but yeah, stuff like this gives you like ideas for various constructed deck shenanigans. Sacrifice Feral Shadow, Breaststalker, and Newball Panther. Search your library for Spirit at Night and put it into play. Okay, so if we had... Okay, so we don't have Feral Shadow, we have Breath Stealer. Or do we have Feral Shadow? That's interesting. This is an interesting card pool. Okay. The problem is, you know, with this you're only playing one of, so it's watered down. It looks exciting, but you end up with a Magical Christmas Land deck, I think is what they call it. So yeah, cool deck though. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so if you were to hard cast this without the previous shenanigans, then you can sort of work out that, you know, you'd say, okay, and these are, I just can't remember. Let's have a look at Breaststalker. 2 in a black. Okay, so we've got 2 in a black. Oh, I like this. This does interesting stuff. We got 2 of these as well in the deck. Yeah, that's something else I didn't point out is don't forget in here, you know, you've got, this is actually multiple copies. So the number here says that we've got two copies of Sandstorm. Oh dear, I just want to play mono black, see. I could play that all day. We'll have to see what we've got when we shift some of these into our maybe board. 2, 2 for 3. Just looking to see if there's anything else interesting here we could do. Yeah, no, it's not going to work. Spirit of the Night. 6 and 3 black. Flying Trample, protection from black. So that nerfs any black removal. First strike when attacking. Spirit Knight is unaffected by summoning sickness, so it just can attack the turn it goes into play. Yeah. It's the target of a spell or effect. Berry. Okay. Oh, so what would they call this now? Would it be classed as an illusion? I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's a... So you get a flying 2/1 for 2, but if it's a target of a spell or an effect, then it's toast. Reborn Zombie. It's a point to the graveyard from play. Put Graveyard Zombie. Okay, so... Yeah, we got Graveyard Shenanigans. Those are fun cards. We got 2 of those. I want to play something in black here. We are going black-blue, probably. Crit block, Cobra attacks and is not blocked. Defending player gets a poison counter. Okay. We've got poison in the set. Oh, that's interesting. So what is it? 10 poison counters and you're dead. So yeah. Players 10 or more. Yeah. Yep. There we go. Reminds me I should have read the text. Text is not blocked. So you make that unblockable. Was there a... See, now you got me interested. Where's... There wasn't there? Was a... Was a... I didn't see an inch... Play on... so we can't really do this if we play black. So I'm just looking. I thought there was a... enchantment we pulled that was unblockable, but maybe not. Okay. What was agility? I think that was that was flanking. Whenever a creature without flanking is assigned to block, the creature gets until end of turn. Okay. Where was I? Keep going off at a tangent here. Sorry about this. Cadaverous Knight. Oh, this sort of thing, right? Oh, flanking. Oh, so they had flanking in black. Okay, we haven't seen that much flanking yet, actually. There was a couple of, I think, legends, flanking legends in the set, in red and white, maybe. Creature with... Okay. Yeah. This is interesting. You got pump spell on larger creatures and removal on opponent's smaller creatures. It's going to take out any guild mages unless they've got pump spells on them, like this one. Okay, so these, if you've not seen these before, and I went over one earlier, see, this is the red one. There's a cycle of them. So they basically care about colours in their shard. So I think I'm right, yeah. So so black, red, green is a shard. And so this one, the black part, but again, this is interesting because this targets other creatures, and you could target yourself. Yeah, no, actually you could. So target creature gets. Yeah, you have to be a bit careful with these. This is where I'm thinking on my feet. You can't really pump. If you pump these, it has to be done in certain ways as a result of certain responses, because of course you're going to tap it. So target creature, you can target yourself, but then this would be tapped by doing that. And you can only use either of these. Once you've tapped this, you can't then, unless you can find a way of untapping it. But yeah, they're interesting, and they're cool because you end up in these weird. So you've got like combat tricks, but with this one, it's a visible combat trick. It's not a case of like someone's got like an instant in their hand, like one of these, and their opponent might not know that they have it. They might see they've got mana open to play it. Whereas this has to be in play. So your opponent's already going to know that you have the potential to do certain things. So it makes combat interesting, but the opponent knows that yes, you could pump another creature by this, or either its power or its toughness. Oh, this fella, Terephis Drake, flying and phasing. 2 and a blue for a 3/2 with phasing. So what happens with phasing is it phases out alternately. So it's only in play on alternate turns. So you get a 3/2 for 2 and a blue, which is flying, which is not too shabby, but it's not going to be there. It's going to not be there every other turn. I'm just taking these out just so I don't get drawn in initially. Okay, we've got a Firewalker here. Red spells or effects. So it's a pinger. Ping creatures and 0/1 pinger for 1 and 2 blue. Oh, there's our phasing crocodile. I have a feeling that was here. The other thing is when you're dragging these around, it drags them all. So to get that back in, you could just add in 1 there if you wanted to. So I just want to take them, which is quite handy. Draw a card. You can use this ability only when Maverick Seal is put into the graveyard from play and only once. Okay, so it's like a self-replacement effect, providing you have 1 and a blue. I don't know. Yeah. Let me just see what's going on here. That's pretty desperate to play that though. Oh, flipping phasing again. Go away. Island home. If the player controls no islands, this creature cannot attack. If you control no islands, bury this creature. Okay. Yeah. It's good, but situational. In fact, let's shoot the hell and get him out of here. I don't really want to play that. Whenever Dreamfighter blocks or is blocked by a creature, Dreamfighter and that creature phases out. Interesting situation. So what it does is that it takes an opponent's creature out for a turn. And yeah. Uh-oh. 2 blue black 5/3. Let me look at these. You can see where I'm going with this. I'm looking at the blue black cards now. Okay, 1 plus. So flying for 1 and a 2. 1, 2. Flying 1, 2 for 3. And if an opponent has a green, let me just leave that in. I've got Wall of Roots in here. Okay, Wild Elephant, yeah. Wall of Roots. Yeah, this is interesting. Some interesting green stuff going on here, actually. Nails. And a pool. So we've got some ramp here. I wonder if black-green could be a thing for each creature. Cannot block black creatures. Well, we don't care because if we were to play black. Affected by summoning sickness. Interesting. What about red-black? Affected. Okay, now things are getting fun in red. See, this is good. These are good for hoses. So something that can switch to colourless. Okay, I like the look of this. Haha, got land destruction. Okay, red, green. Flying with protection from blue. Jungle Trolls got regenerate on it. Flanking. 1 for 1. Flying protection for black. Ephemeral Knight. With a ability that activates vigilance. Interesting. Okay. Damage prevention. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about those sort of cards. Oh, hang on. That's benevolent unicorn. Strike. What if we did white? White, blue, black. Could get some interesting stuff going on there. Green, white, red. There's a possibility. And blue. Yeah, I'm going to put that out for the moment. Just giving it a second pass here. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do here, I'm sort of, this is tricky. That's really heavy black. I'm just going to put this into, so now I've just done my first pass. I'm just going to put this into, well, I'm going to save it first, just in case anything crashes. I'm going to put this into a view where I can just put it in CMC. I just want to have a look and see what my high-end spells are, because this is just too high. Oh God. Turn 9. I'm going to go with red, I think. These. Okay, what we'll do is we'll pull all the black stuff from here. This red, white, green looks real interesting, actually. Got double red. Okay. Yeah. That could be a bit slow. This is interesting. Old Elephant, the Minotaur, and the Raging Spirit. Yeah. There's our old friend, the Sand Golem. Jungle Worm. Yeah, we'll see what red, white, green looks like. That's probably a good move. Yeah. We'd be massively over time if we were trying to build this in a tournament environment, but okay. Who cares? Let's go back in here. This is the fun. Okay. So what we do, we move black out into our maybe board. Okay, come up. down there now. I'm gonna just zoom out on here a little bit. There we go. And then I'm gonna see if okay, there's probably a faster way to do this. But for the moment, yeah, if you know a faster way using this tool, and let me know in the comment section. I'll probably work it out at some point, but I think what I'd have to do is create a custom view. It did cross my mind with this to actually sort of pre-create the pools. The disadvantage with that is it always looks like, you know, if you do that sort of thing, it looks like you're up to some sort of shenanigans. And it's quite nice to just go in completely cold. That way I've not seen the cards at all. I haven't had a chance to sort of manipulate the deck in any way, and so yeah, it's much better for just sort of proving that I'm not up to anything dodgy. Okay, I'm going to pull blue as well. And then see what we end up with. This may be a deck build where I literally just do like one thing, and I go, okay, well, let's go with that rather than the previous ones I've done in paper where I've used repacks, where it's like, okay, you know, here's 3 decks. I must admit, I don't know about you, but I'm really enjoying this. This is very, this is fun. I never know quite what these sort of things are like to watch, because what you can see where I'm going. What I'm trying to do here, if you haven't figured already, is build basically, see what a red, green, white deck looks like. Anything here we need to take out. That can stay in. Sky Diamond needs to go because we're not playing blue. Instant Speed. We're not playing black, so that comes out. So what I'm doing now is I'm just looking down to see what I'm like for removal. Target creature is unaffected by summoning sickness, deals 1 damage, yeah. Flare, yeah. Incinerate, yeah. Volcanic Geyser, yeah. Fog. Okay, we're looking good. This is an interesting deck. We got Karav's Torch as well. We got Spinning Earth. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be possibly a thing. This Sand Golem's a bit wobbly. Yeah. We've got to do some serious cutting back here, because we need, I'm going to go with 23 and 17. Now there was some stuff here. Okay, it's flanking. Damage. Yeah, let's just take that out. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to remove the sort of, once I've selected colour, I'm just going to remove some of the weaker cards, put them over in the sideboard over here. Oh, we can't play that because we're not playing black. Okay, let's do a quick scan down here. Just make sure that none of our creatures are dependent on the colour we're not playing. I got some interesting green stuff. Red looks pretty strong. It's super tempting to just play red-green aggro because we've got such strong red removal. Let me see if I can do that. It's a new category. See if this works. Oh, there we go. That worked. Let's just put. Let's remove our white. Boom. We have an artifact, so it means we can play around a little bit with our mana base, but not by much. I don't know if I want to just play 16 lands because of that. So we're looking for, if we were to play 23 playables, what do we have here? So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Oops, what am I doing? I don't need to do that. 16. 29. So we got to drop 6 cards. Okay. So we're in red green. Oh. Let's drop our. Well, I'll put it in there. That's not one. Okay. We'll get rid of our sand golem as well. Let me just call that removed. That's better. Oh, where the hell's that gone? Oh, never mind. Now it's gone completely. Okay. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Okay. Chucked it over there. Armor of Thorns. Oh, yeah, that's right, non-black. Hey, we got rid of the crazy phasing. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's an interesting card. I'm going to just get rid of that, just in case. I don't want any limitations. That's fine. It's got protection for blue, which is always cool. I never know with Dwarven Miner, do we really need in this format? Non-basic. There were some. There was a cycle of lands in this. And sorry, non-basic lands. We didn't see any. Because of that, I'm just going to put that over in the sideboard anyway. Maybe I should have put it over before. Okay, so where are we now? 12 creatures. We've got a lot of non-creature spells here. That's the only thing. I wonder if we need to ditch some of this. We've got to be careful with 2 for 1 ourselves, because all these enchantments, if we play them as enchantments. So the other thing you've got to bear in mind is in the early days of Magic, spells were more powerful, non-creature spells were generally more powerful than creature spells. So it probably wouldn't be unusual in an early set to actually not play the same, not be so creature combat reliant that you would be nowadays. So that's a possibility. Four 24. 1 damage to each attacking creature. That's good. We want to keep that. Incinerate, we want to keep flare or player. So it's that. So we get card draw on the end of that. It's not super powerful. Summon 66. Whoa. So Chaos Charm is effectively has got flare on it, but only for So this one we can target a player for 2 and a red, and we get to draw a card. I'm tempted to just take the fog out and sideboard it. This is effective in like an alpha strike. If an opponent has a whole load of creatures out and is just going to try and finish you off, and you have no way of blocking it on the board, you could do this. So single green. I don't really want to go any less on the creatures if I can help it. These enchantments are super flexible. You can use them both as a combat trick and as a permanent feature on a creature. It's got first strike. Yeah, I really like this sort of stuff. I could probably, actually there's 2 odds in here. I could probably remove one of the sandstorms. It's going to let me, oh there we go. Let's move that into, let's just get rid of that, because we know that. So I'm going to do, put that down. Okay. So now 15, 24, including the artifact. No, I'm not going to mess with creatures. It's going to have to be something out of here. Maybe I do remove that fog. Okay. So there's our deck. Save that. Let me just try something. This is either going to work or not. So, I wonder. I'm just working out the quickest way to do this. Or whether you're just going to be able to see this on the screen. Let me switch views and see what happens. There's probably several people shouting at the screen now, telling me exactly what I need to do to do this. So I'm just going to move it into CMC. I just want to see what the curve looks like. That's an interesting curve. Okay. So that's got rid of all the other categories. You can see they're all lined up down here. I don't know where my other thing went. Oh, it didn't take it out, did it? Because, yeah, that would be... I think I'm going to have to completely remove that, actually, because I think it's is it re-including it back in... Yeah, it's re-including it back in here, which is no good to us. Damn. Let's go back to custom. I should be able to quickly go through these, actually, because... Yeah, let's do... maybe... Oh. Okay. Can't. Yeah, we'll do it the slow way. It's quicker. So, we've gone for red-green aggro this time round. I'm not gonna try another build, I don't think, with this pool. I think what I've noticed with this period in Magic's history is, yeah, sometimes it's just best to stick with what you've come up with first time round. I'm sure you can see other things in here then that looks like there's something interesting going on, possibly with either red white or green white, maybe. So we just add 17 lands to this. Now let me just change the view again. I just want to see whether we can do this. Okay. I'm going to save that. Let's look at the stats. I knew it was somewhere. Okay. So what, 9 to 20? That's our breakdown. 20 to 9. So we got to basically put in 17 lands. So if you look at the proportions very roughly, we've got, well, it's 1/3 to 2/3 in the favour of red. So again, this is going to be really sort of quick and dirty. So for example, this is often how I do it, so I can do it real quickly in my head. So if we had to put 15 lands in the set, based on that, it would be 10 red and 5 green. Okay. So what we're going to do is just going to look at that and say, okay, well, it's 20 to 9. So what I'd probably do is just add the 2 remaining that we'd have, because we want to bring it up to 17. So we got 11 red and 6 green. And we'll see how that looks. So now we need to add in some lands. So let's see how we do here. This is going to be very interesting. Okay. Oh, I know what you have to do. Yeah, I'm just going to add these in actually. Land. And then I can change these over. Once I've got it in actually, this is how you do it. So we go forests, we're going to add, what did we say? 6 forests. And then we will add outtake. What happened there? Stop it. It's funny when you're trying to get, oh, that's what I was looking for. There's the advanced one. Oh well, never mind. It's all part of the learning process. It's 11. Why is that not gonna let me add that? Have we got a bug? Okay, maybe it did. Oh yeah, hang on. No, that is all right. It does. It just keeps adding it. Yeah. Okay. So now what I've got to do, just so this looks authentic, is come into here and find Mirage. What do we want? Ooh. We could, you know, we just pick the best land. I quite like that first one. Yeah, let's do that. And our mountains. Oops. There we go. Ooh, well, that looks cool. It's quite different, isn't it? I'm going to now spend 20 minutes. Oh yeah, that one. On that one. Okay, there's our deck. 40-card deck. Custom legal. I don't know. What would you reckon? Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, there we go. So there's our deck. So we got Armor of Thorns, Lightning, Reflexes, Agility, Wild Elephant, All of Roots, Quirion Elves. Hang on, let me do this better for you. Go Quirion Elves, Jungle Worm, Volcanic Dragon, Talran Minotaur, Raging Spirit, Dwarven Nomad, Burning Shield Ascira, Wind Reaper Falcon, Jungle Troll, Sandstorm, that actually could be a oh no, that's okay. Yeah, no, that's good to use when people are attacking you. Okay, yeah. Damage, volcanic geyser, incinerate. We got some cool red removal here. Got a chaos charm, spitting earth, Corvex torch, fire diamond, and a forest and a mountain, and that is our deck. Anyway, I'm going to stop it there because I could go on for another couple of hours just trying out different things. Like I said, there's the green red one. I suspect there is something interesting going on in white. We could have done some white red. I can't remember what the other flanking one was. Stuff interesting. I didn't feel that drawn to blue for whatever reason. You know, I mean, initially you see I got quite excited about, you know, the possibility of having some sort of mono black deck. The problem is this Spirit of Night. It's like a 9-drop. I have no idea how fast this format is. The problem is you've got some pretty powerful spells here. With stuff like this, you know, it just... You could cast that out and it just could be removed. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments if it's something you want me to sort of carry on with. If you do, then next we're going to do, like I said, all visions. And then after that, it'll be all, what did I say on? Let's go back here so we know what the hell we're talking about. All visions, all weatherlight, and then mirage and visions, mirage and weatherlight, mirage, visions and weatherlight, and just see what we end up with. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.